Tonight, could this summer be the final season for the Snowbirds? The NDP continues to question the cost of refurbishing coal plants. And what's next after City Council approved Brant's purchase of real properties?
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. This summer could be the last chance to see Canada's iconic snowbirds take to the sky. Moose Jaw Conservative MP Fraser Tolmie said Ottawa's preparing to pause or cancel the popular 15-wing Moose Jaw program due to an aging fleet, forcing the Defence Minister to respond today. Graham Richardson has the details.
For decades, they've been a Canadian symbol of blue skies and hot summer days. But Conservatives are now warning 2026 will be the last time Canadians will be able to see the iconic snowbirds for many years to come.
Up front, the Snowbirds are being cancelled. This is the last season.
Tolmie is the former mayor of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, home base for the Snowbirds. He says the schedule is normal for 2026, but after that, the planes will stay on the ground.
They do our nation proud. And we really need to get behind our snowbirds. It's an SOS call. It's Save Our Snowbirds.
2 air shows confirmed to CTV they are not booked in 2027 and referred all questions back to the Snowbirds. When asked directly about the future of the program, Defence Minister David McGuinty's office refused all comment. One Liberal MP said cost is a factor.
At what cost? So, I mean, yeah, it's a Canadian institution. Would be sad to see it go, but I'm not sure how much it costs for the Snowbirds.
After our story published online, the minister said this in the House of Commons.
This member surely can't be suggesting he's going to put the pilots, the women and men of that fleet, in harm's way.
In 2021, the government committed $30 million to upgrade the fleet and keep it flying until 2030. It appears the Snowbirds won't make it that long.
This is like maple syrup. This is like, ice cold Canadian beer. This is like, gravy on our poutine.
So why not just replace the fleet altogether once and for all? Well, the cost to do that will be between $1 and $2 billion with all the other government priorities. Aerobatics in the air and a new Snowbird fleet may not be top of the list. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, here in Saskatchewan, news of the beloved Snowbirds possibly being grounded permanently is not going over well. Jacob Carr paid a visit to the squad's hometown, the city of Moose Jaw, to see how residents are reacting.
Conservative MP and former mayor of Moose Jaw, Fraser Tolmie, is of the firm belief that the Snowbirds will be permanently grounded come 2027.
I wrote the Minister of National Defence almost 6 months ago asking about the future of the Snowbirds. No reply. Senator Batters did the same in the Senate. Crickets. Why won't the Liberals come clean about their decision to cancel the iconic Snowbirds?
And that has the people of Moose Jaw reacting, the resounding thought being that it would be a shame to lose a national treasure like the Snowbirds, especially since 15-wing Moose Jaw is their home base.
Just one of Canada's icons. I've lived various places in Canada. I've always looked forward to their shows.
Putting on the shows they do really attracts people. So it's for economically, it's a good thing for the city too.
I just think it's a very unique thing, for a small place like Saskatchewan, and it's something kind of unexpected when you go somewhere and then you realize that they're going to show up and do their thing.
It's a great recruiting tool for the military, and I just hate to see that we're going to lose them, because that'll definitely be the end of our base here now.
But the Minister of National Defence says people should pump the brakes on talk of permanently cancelling the squadron.
The Snowbirds will continue air demonstrations with the Tudor fleet for as long as it is feasible and safe. We're beginning the process of examining potential aircraft options for the Snowbirds mission once the CT-144 Tudor fleet reaches its end of life.
The Snowbirds are currently in Comox, BC, where they do spring training annually and will conduct their acceptance show, which marks the end of training on Friday. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
There could be another substantial increase in the estimated cost of refurbishing Saskatchewan's coal-fired power plants, according to the Saskatchewan NDP. As Wayne Mantika tells us, the NDP says it's obtained a leaked SaskPower document that shows a tenfold increase to $26 billion.
The NDP called it a coal bombshell.
First, this Premier's coal plan was set to cost $900 million. Then that number jumped to $2.6 billion. Yesterday, we revealed that the true cost is a staggering $26 billion. Mr. Speaker, that is more than the entire budget for Saskatchewan.
The government says the capital cost of refurbishing coal-fired power plants remains at $2.6 billion.
Speaker, now we have on full display for the people of Saskatchewan why no one can take this NDP opposition seriously.
Right. The NDP based its claim of increased costs on a SaskPower document that shows a 25-year cost estimate for refurbishing and operating coal-fired power plants. It includes more than capital costs.
So what they included as a part of that $26 billion were 25-year costs for maintenance, for sustainment, for operating, for salaries, for mining.
The government says there are operating costs regardless of how electricity is generated. The NDP doesn't feel any more money should be invested in coal. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The government of Saskatchewan is touting a strong 2025 for its mining sector. Last year, the sector generated more than $12.8 billion in mineral sales, mainly due to gains in the value of potash and uranium sales. A 19% increase compared to 2024. A new industry record was set with potash sales, rising more than 18% to a total of $9.3 billion, and uranium sales rising 24% to $3.2 billion.
These two industries have been foundations of our provincial economy for decades, and the people of Saskatchewan continue to reap the benefits that potash and the uranium sectors generate every year. Saskatchewan once again led Canada in mineral resource development spending, with our industry investing over $6.7 billion, accounting for 25% of the country's total.
Saskatchewan is home to 27 of 34 minerals. That includes helium, lithium, and hydrogen, which is showing promise according to provincial officials. Well, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says support is being provided to communities in the north and southeast who are experiencing severe spring flooding. A total of 35 communities have declared a state of emergency, 14 declaring in the last 48 hours. The SPSA says flooding equipment along with crews have been sent to the areas that are impacted.
It's too early to know what the full impact and cost of flooding will be on the road infrastructure as this event is still unfolding in the province. But crews are working hard to keep the highways open and restore traffic service as quickly as possible.
As of Thursday afternoon, 11 provincial highways are closed due to flooding. 8 incidents related to the water on the road as well. Saskatchewan's Ministry of Highways recommends people to go to Highway Hotline for the latest updates when traveling. Seeding has begun in some parts of Saskatchewan, but others delayed by that spring flooding and runoff. Right now, 3% of the 2026 crop has been planted. That is well behind the average pace. Along with flooding, cold temperatures, frozen soil, and washed out roads are slowing down the progress. That's expected, though, to change in the coming weeks. Western Saskatchewan has had better luck so far. The Southwest is furthest ahead with 7% seeded. Sabine, for some of those farmers out there that maybe haven't had a chance to get seeding started, want to get seeding started, what are we looking at least in the southern Saskatchewan, for the next 4 or 5 days?
Well, maybe hold off tomorrow with the really strong wind gusts that we have expected, and Monday and Tuesday with more wind gusts. Other than that, we've got warm temperatures, dry conditions for many parts of the province, especially in southern Saskatchewan. And we do have some areas expecting to see some light rain showers, but not something that's going to leave a lot of rainfall totals, if you will. I'll have more details on that coming up in your full forecast. Today we did warm up to about 16 degrees in the Regina area, very close to what our average normally is. And then we're just going to continue to see those temperatures climb heading into tomorrow, with many areas in southern Saskatchewan expecting to get into the 20s. Now, into Saturday, we'll see a little cool off, but we're going to continue to see very warm temperatures as we head into next week, with very little precipitation expected apart from what we have coming up over the next day or so. But like I said, I'll have details coming up in your full forecast. Lee?
All right, thank you, Sabine. Last night, Regina City Council approved the terms of a sale, which will see the city sell off parts of the Real District to Brant. Donovan Mace with more on what's next.
The Real District is going partially private with council's approval of a sale to Brant.
This is a huge step forward in getting us out of a riskier business.
Now this means Brant, owned by Sean Semple, will take possession of the AgX buildings, Queensbury Convention Centre, the Brant Centre, and the parking lot west of Mosaic Stadium.
It's hard to satisfy everybody. We're going to try, but it's more public than what we're used to.
Council agreeing to the sale's terms, but not everyone convinced about the deal.
Community members that said that this is something they're concerned about. And I hope they're wrong, and I hope I'm wrong.
What's frustrating to me is I still can't support this proposal because I was not given the information to do so.
And the hope a similar situation doesn't happen again with the assets the city is retaining, including the Cooperator Centre and Affinity Plex.
I certainly am not interested in seeing buildings crumble and problems kicked down the road.
Most importantly, it transfers the substantial infrastructure deficit risk away from taxpayers.
Administration now will negotiate the final terms of transition with the Semples.
There's enough good opportunity in this deal for both Brant and for the city.
We can't say we like one thing or don't like one thing and expect for the other party to stay status quo.
So once administration and Brant finalize the details of the deal, Brant is expected to take over the property in phases, with phase 1 set for July 1st, full possession of the buildings by September 1st, and ownership of the land by the end of the year. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The Regina German Club has been around for almost 60 years, originally welcoming those with German ties to the city of Regina. More recently, it's hosted events like regional wrestling shows. But now a major repair could have the club down for the count. As Mick Fable tells us, it is now looking to the public for help.
Regina's German Club has been a gathering place for those with German ancestry since 1968. The club now welcoming people of all backgrounds to experience German cuisine and culture. But as the club ages, so does the building that houses it. Recently, the cost to repair a leak in the roof was estimated at more than $200,000, putting the building's future in serious jeopardy.
We do have to seriously consider how we're going to get funds. We're looking at different grants. We're just looking for our people to step up, and even if it's manual labor, if we can prep half the roof, work, and then maybe get a contractor in to do the rest, that would also help us.
4 days a week, the club opens its doors for those looking for a German meal or drink. Local groups and clubs use the space regularly to meet up and make connections.
My German roots are a little bit diluted. However, I do feel like community is just so important. So wherever we can find community, whether it's just like-minded people wanting to have a good time together.
Like many organizations and businesses, the German Club still feels the impacts from the pandemic. Some rentals haven't made their way back since, shortening the club's revenue in a tough economy.
To have places like this, especially one that's so historied as the German Club, and the building is so incredible, and just all of the passion and love that's gone into running it over the years. So super important to keep supporting.
A number of fundraising initiatives are underway to cover the repair cost, including bake sales, 50/50s, and any revenue made from their annual events will go towards the new roof.
If we didn't have the community and the people we've had support us over the years, this clubhouse would have shut its doors probably in the 80s already. We love hearing positive feedback. It really keeps us motivated. Feels like our efforts are worth something.
The club is also in the midst of applying for charity status to get access for grants to keep the building in shape for decades to come. Mick Fable, CTV News, Regina.
Well, thanks to staff and information from the public, packages containing unauthorized items were seized at the Saskatchewan Penitentiary. The Correctional Service of Canada says it happened on Tuesday. The items included methamphetamine, tobacco, lighters, mobile phones, and accessories. The estimated institutional value of these items, more than $846,000. Wow. The Correctional Service of Canada says it works with local police to take action against people attempting to introduce contraband into correctional institutions. A LaRange man who pleaded guilty to starting a wildfire won't be sentenced for another month. Jason Halkett pleaded guilty to arson for lighting the Ditch 2 fire. The fire forced evacuations from the Waiakon area and grew to about 20 times the size of Saskatoon. Halkett was scheduled for sentencing today and appeared in court at the Montreal Lake Cree Nation Band office, but the trial was adjourned until June the 4th. The defense requested more time to go over materials, and the Crown says it is still waiting on 3 or 4 victim impact statements. The province says a cat in southeastern Saskatchewan has died from avian influenza. The cat was reportedly found the morning of April the 20th, was found the 20th, but became severely ill with neurological and respiratory symptoms and died that same day. A test did confirm the animal had the avian influenza, a more serious form of the illness. It's commonly associated with wild birds and domestic poultry, but the province says infections can be found in mammals, including cats and dogs, and the risk can be higher during spring migration when wild waterfowl activity increases. The cat in this case was known to spend time outdoors and may have been at greater risk because of that. Now today, the government of Saskatchewan is recognizing World Ovarian Cancer Day. Ovarian cancer survivors gathered at the Legislative Building and handed out teal ribbons. The provincial government has contributed about $2 million to Ovarian Cancer Canada since 2020. This funding supports 3 Saskatchewan-based research projects focused on research, clinical trials, and treatment options. May is Mental Health Month, and Regina Mayor Chad Bashinsky is highlighting the importance of keeping up with one's mental health.
You expect a certain level of challenges, but things come up that are unexpected, and so when I go look back at you try and focus on things you can control, but really surround yourself with people and make sure you have those support mechanisms in place, and because you don't know what you're getting into sometimes with any situation, and this job is no different.
Bashinsky has not been silent about some of the challenges he's faced since taking over the mayor's role in 2024, sharing his experience at the mayor's luncheon for mental health today. Former Regina Chief of Police Evan Bray also speaking at the event. The lunch, put on by the Caring Place, is a charitable non-profit counseling firm operating in Regina for 35 years. Still ahead, Canadians still aboard the MV Hondias cruise ship are showing no signs of hantavirus. Plus, the U.S.-Iran ceasefire remains shaky as Iran fires missiles at American ships. Consular officials from Global Affairs are on their way to meet up with 4 Canadians as a cruise ship heads towards Spain's Canary Islands following an outbreak of the hantavirus. Adrian Gabriel has the latest.
One of our passengers sadly passed away last night.
Sunday, April 12th, this captain's address informs those on board the MV Hondias that a passenger has died, though there's no signs of an infectious disease on the ship.
It was due to natural causes, we believe.
Rohi Chenet recorded the captain speaking to those on board.
People were socializing with each other. We had our meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all together in the dining room, sitting side by side.
3 people have died since the ship set sail from Argentina a month ago. 8 others are suspected to have contracted the virus. So far, the 4 Canadians who remain on board are showing no symptoms, though CTV News has now learned that 2 additional Canadians are among the more than 24 people from 12 different countries who left the ship 2 weeks ago unaware of the outbreak.
For these 2 individuals, they have been, from day one, monitored and assessed on a daily basis.
Confirmation that a Quebecer who was on the same flight as a passenger with hantavirus is also in isolation. In a social media post, Quebec's Minister of Health saying it doesn't seem like they were in close proximity and the risk of transmission is very low. There are minimal concerns for the wider public, according to the World Health Organization. Hantavirus is usually spread through the inhalation of contaminated rodent droppings and isn't easily transmitted between people.
Given the incubation period of the Andes virus, which can be up to 6 weeks, it's possible that more cases may be reported.
The MV Hondias cruise ship was anchored for 3 days near Cape Verde off the coast of West Africa. It's now located here in the North Atlantic as it travels towards Spain's Canary Islands, where it's expected to arrive this weekend with more than 140 people on board.
Consular support will be in place when the ship reaches port.
Those who remain on the ship have shared that health and safety protocols are now in place, though many have been left to wonder if more could have been done sooner. The World Health Organization clearly stating that this outbreak is different than the COVID-19 pandemic. This is limited to just a small number of people, and currently there's no national or global threat. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
The largest gathering of Conservatives in Canada is underway. Party leader Pierre Poilievre urged the crowd in Ottawa today to never give up, saying so much is at stake.
Some people believe that we should stop fighting, join the club, be content with the way things are. That certainly would be easier, my friends. But easy street leads to a dead end, and the hardest roads lead to the best destinations. Our destination as a country, the country that we knew and still love, a country where the people are back in charge of their lives, because this country and its people are worth fighting for. I keep fighting, and I hope you will too. Merci beaucoup.
Poilievre says Ottawa is full of entrenched special interest groups defending the status quo and insists Conservatives need to keep winning debates in opposition. Alberta's Premier and U.S. Ambassador to Canada will speak tomorrow at the Canada Strong and Free Network Conference. Canada's next Governor-General will be sworn in on June the 8th. It was announced Tuesday that Louise Arbour will take over as the King's representative in Canada. She is a retired Supreme Court Justice, former UN Human Rights Commissioner, and Chief Prosecutor at The Hague. The swearing-in ceremony usually includes an address from the new Governor-General highlighting the themes she will prioritize during her mandate. Arbour replaces Mary Simon, who became Canada's first Indigenous vice-regal in 2021. In the Middle East, the U.S. military says Iran launched multiple missiles, drones, and small boats as 3 American destroyers moved through the Strait of Hormuz today. The U.S. says none of its vessels were hit. The renewed fighting comes amid the ongoing tug-of-war for control of the international waterway. After today's attack, the Americans say they carried out retaliatory strikes on assets that were responsible for unprovoked hostilities. They included launch sites, command and control locations, as well as intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance targets. The latest fighting raises further concerns about the sustainability of a shaky ceasefire that began a month ago. New details have been revealed about Jeffrey Epstein's final days in jail. A purported suicide note has been unsealed by a U.S. federal judge. The handwritten note, believed to be from the convicted sex offender and found by Epstein's cellmate, includes the lines, "They investigated me for months, found nothing," and "No fun, not worth it." The note has not been authenticated and dates to Epstein's first apparent suicide attempt in July 2019. The late financier was arrested on federal sex trafficking charges, including underage girls. He died by suicide weeks later in jail. Investigators cited widespread failures by prison staff. Coming up, a local newspaper in Ontario is hoping youth can be served with their newest writer.
The Western Hockey League final begins Friday night. So in the morning, we're connecting with the Prince Albert Raiders head coach Ryan McDonald as he gets set to bring his team to Everett to face the Silver Tips.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at what you can expect for the rest of this weekend. Heading into the weekend, and we're going to continue to see warmer temperatures and more sunshine. However, the wind, we just cannot escape it. We've got some strong wind gusts on the way heading into tomorrow and then returning next week. I'll show you that in your 7-day forecast. For today, though, we did warm up to about 16 degrees in Regina. The daytime average for this time of year, usually about 17, 18 degrees. So we did get in that range. Currently, we're sitting at 15 with the winds just over 10 kilometers an hour. No wind gusts, but we did see some wind gusts up to about 30 kilometers an hour throughout the day today. Heading into tomorrow, we will possibly see some precipitation. On our radar satellite, we did see a little bit of that scattered rain showers coming through parts of central and southern Saskatchewan. And as we proceed into tomorrow, we'll start to see more of that returning. So this is what tomorrow morning starts to look like. First thing in the morning, not a whole lot in southern Saskatchewan except for the Yorkton area. Could see some continued light rain showers throughout the day in the Parkland. But we won't expect to see more of that rain until we get into the afternoon for parts of southern Saskatchewan. Swift Current could see it at Assiniboia, Moose Jaw, Regina, and then even into that Parkland area, seeing more rain in that area. But Yorkton specifically could see a little bit more rainfall, but the system's a very fast-moving system. You see that it's arriving late in the afternoon, and it should clear out before the evening even starts, really. So in terms of what we're expecting rainfall-wise, I'll show you what our rainfall map is looking like, but it's not a lot. And as we head into Friday night, we'll see a lot of that cloud cover clearing. And by Saturday, we could see a mix of sun and cloud, but we're still seeing temperatures within that seasonal range, if not warmer, especially heading into Sunday. We could see those temperatures climbing back into the 20s for many parts of southern Saskatchewan. Saturday night, we see a little bit more of that cloud cover return for the southwest. And then there is some more rain on the way heading into Monday. But again, we're not expecting big rain systems that's going to be leaving a lot of rainfall totals. So between now into about this is going to take us to Sunday afternoon. This is what we're looking at. Trace amounts for many parts of the south. Yorkton up to about 2 millimeters of rain, and Estevan up to about 1 millimeter of rain. So really not a whole lot to worry about heading into your weekend. Monday, we'll see cloudier conditions and a little bit more of that rainfall. But temperature-wise, even for Friday, most are looking at warmer than seasonal temperatures. The La Ronge a little cooler. 9 degrees tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud. 10 and cloudy for La Loche. 17 mainly sunny for Lloydminster, and a mix of sun and cloud for Prince Albert at 12 degrees. 17 and some light rain for Saskatoon. 14 mostly cloudy Yorkton. 18 and a mix of sun and cloud for North Battleford. The southwest though into the 20s. 23 for Maple Creek. 21 for Swift Current. Moose Jaw 21. All expecting to see a mix of sun and cloud. Similar story for the southeast. Some rain tonight for the Weyburn Assiniboia area, but 20 for Weyburn with a mix of sun and cloud, 21 for Assiniboia, and 19 for Estevan. All expecting a mix of sun and cloud. For us tonight in the Regina area, -1 is our low, warming to 19 degrees, but of course, we're expecting to see the winds gusting up to 60 kilometers an hour tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. So we're still seeing some sunshine throughout the day. Mainly sunny conditions returning on Saturday. 14 is the expected high. The wind's coming down a little bit, but we'll see the temperature warm back up on Sunday. 19 degrees, nothing but sunshine, winds at 40 kilometers an hour. And it's not until we get into about Tuesday, Monday, where we start to see those winds picking back up. Later on in Monday, we could actually see those winds gusting up to about 70 kilometers an hour, and then by Tuesday at 65 kilometers an hour. But 19 on Monday, sunny, and 21 on Tuesday. Wednesday, 23. Next week, it looks like we're going to see a lot of the 20-degree temperatures. By Thursday next week, we're still in the 20s, 20 degrees, and a mix of sun and clouds. So a lot of sunshine expected. We're still expecting to see very warm temperatures, but some days a little windier than others, Lee.
A little windier, so not a bad Mother's Day coming up on Sunday.
No, not at all. You can spend it outdoors if you like.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Sabine.
You bet.
Well, the community paper in a small Ontario town west of Ottawa has welcomed an eager new writer. Just 10 years old. He's the latest columnist for his local paper and wants to give people a new perspective. Sean Verdon has more.
Mayor Murphy, I've already started that.
Fred Hillier is not your typical 10-year-old. Along with schoolwork, hobbies, and church, he's now the newest and youngest columnist at the Eganville Leader.
I want to be able to tell the world these days through a kid's eye.
His bi-weekly column, Inside Fred's World, offers his hometown of Eganville a unique take from a kid's perspective.
Pretty exciting. It's not something that you see every day, a kid getting to write for a paper.
A good one.
He can write about whatever interests him, and although it can be a lot of work, he hopes his young views will make people think.
I kind of make a list on Google Docs on my Chromebook, and then when I'm done with that list, the next day I write the column. Like this one, I had to make it 530 words or something. It was kind of a little overwhelming.
The Eganville Leader has been part of the Ottawa Valley for more than 120 years. When it was put up for sale in 2024, there were fears it would not survive. But when new owners were found, Fred knew he wanted to be part of it.
When we introduced them in our April 22nd edition, people were actually excited to see someone that young with that kind of an interest, and I know that he's going to resonate well with our readers.
One of my classmates, he's in the same grade as me, he said he read it on the first morning of the column, and he said it was really good.
Fred's next column is about his family's piano, which has been passed down for 5 generations. Also on his list, interviewing the mayor, the fire chief, and letting people know what a special place they call home.
I hope he sticks with it and that we're looking at a couple of years. I think he's got lots of stories to tell.
And while he's currently the youngest, the Eganville Leader actually had a columnist who made it into the world record books for being the oldest news columnist in the world. 96-year-old Al Donahue just stepped away from his role. But from the oldest to the youngest, the Eganville Leader is a paper that brings generations together.
Ever since 1902, the Eganville Leader has been making its people happy or sad or somewhere in between. It feels really important to a kid like me from Eganville.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
Still ahead, we continue our Riders training camp preview with a look at the team's defensive line and linebacking core. Day 2 of Riders rookie camp in Saskatoon as first-time CFLers look to make an impression. Today in our training camp preview, we take a look at the defensive line and the linebackers. The Riders D-line will have a different look with the departure of 3 Grey Cup starters, including Malik Carney to free agency and Micah Johnson to retirement. The only starter from the Grey Cup back is American defensive tackle Mike Rose. Last year, he was tied for second on the team with 3 sacks. Caleb Sanders and Canadian Ali Saad combining for 3 sacks last year should see plenty of time as starters at D-tackle. Devin Adams joins the team from Winnipeg, where he picked up a pair of sacks last year. Rounding out the D-tackle roster, Kendi Charles, who spent time on the practice roster, American rookies Thor Griffith, Nathan Pickering, Davin Van, and Jalen Pate.
Tying game. Pressure on Mayer, and they've got him. Jake Mayer is sacked.
Defensive end, the Riders brought in veteran James Vaughters from Winnipeg. He had 6 sacks last season. Aaron Patrick played 16 games for the Riders, mainly as a backup, and special teams with 7 defensive tackles. After that, it's a lot of unknowns. 6 American CFL rookies and 4 Canadians, including 2023 first-round draft pick Lake Cordy Moore.
Half Brown down the field, over the middle, taken away again.
In the linebacking core, Jameer Thurman and his 86 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 interceptions is back in the middle, along with strong side linebacker Antoine Brooks Jr. With A.J. Allen leaving for Ottawa, the Riders could go with another Canadian, a weak side linebacker in Malik Straker, who played well on special teams, or they could go American with free agent pickup Josh Woods and his 62 tackles last year in BC, or Aubrey Miller Jr., who can play middle linebacker as well. He played mainly on special teams for the Riders, but did get 14 tackles. Other linebackers include Americans Vi Jones, David Gabenda, Demore Kennedy, along with Canadians Nick Weeb and Ryder Varga, global player Tyron Verdi, and draft pick Osasier Odemwenge. After the first round took place last night, the rest of the WHL draft took place today, with Regina Pats having 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, and they selected goaltender Fletcher McDonald 9th overall. That's the first time in 12 years the Pats have used their first pick on a netminder. They then picked 3 defensemen with their next 4 picks, including Regina's Riley Rubich and Gull Lake's Carter Blau. The Moose Jaw Warriors took Warman's Kobe Palak with the first pick in the second round, then goaltender Gavin Craig in the third. Warriors took 4 more Saskatchewan products, including White City defenseman Kingston Dickey in the 5th. And Swift Current had 4 picks in the first 27 selections, including Shellbrook winger Caleb Philp. They selected Warman center Jesse Scriven 63rd overall. Back to the Pats, here's what GM Dale Durkach had to say about selecting a goaltender 9th overall.
It was the player we thought we would potentially get at number 9. We knew there were 3 or 4 high-end players that were probably going to go that we didn't have a shot at. And then for us, Fletcher was the next guy, and we're happy we got him.
The WHL Championship Series now takes center stage with the Prince Albert Raiders facing the Silvertips and Everett for Game 1 tomorrow. Well, May 7th, an important day for the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. They unveiled today 60 years of Saskatchewan sports, an exhibit showing significant Saskatchewan athletes that have contributed to the sporting world, including some of the province's greatest heroes, with pictures, videos, and, of course, artifacts.
And so we tried to pick out some of the high-level highlights, which is always a little bit tricky when there's so much great Saskatchewan sports stories. But the timeline does sort of show some of those key moments, whether it's a first World Series appearance, a first Stanley Cup winner, a first Olympian, or other iconic teams and or stories in Saskatchewan sport. And then we also have cases that highlight different decades and some of the stories a little bit deeper.
Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame opened in 1966 at the Molson Sports Hall of Fame and moved to their current location on Vic Ave in 1979. Still ahead, will Saskatoon move parking payment completely to an app as well?
All right, let's take a look at your rural forecast for tomorrow. Again, we're inching closer to seasonal temperatures for some areas, and some areas starting out the day a little cloudier. Areas like Hudson Bay and Melfort, 11 degrees. Some rain for Watrous, 17, and a slight chance of some showers coming through late in the afternoon for Wynyard, 12 degrees there. 12 in a mix of sun and cloud for Meadow Lake, 13 in a mix of sun and cloud for Spiritwood, 18 mainly sunny for Lloydminster, 20 for Outlook, and 21 degrees for Kindersley. Closer to the southern border, similar temperatures in the 20s for the southwest. In the southeast, we're going to see a little bit more of that rain for Broadview, 17 degrees, Carlisle, 17 in rain, 13 and mostly cloudy for Kenora. Over in the southwest, though, 23 mostly cloudy for Maple Creek, 21 for Assiniboia, Rockland, East End, Cypress, 22 for Leader and Coronach, 21 also for Rosetown, and Lumsden and Pilot Butte, 19 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud. If we take a closer look at Hanley, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available through SaskTel, warming up to 19 degrees tomorrow. Starting out the day quite sunny in the Hanley area, but there is a low chance of some showers early in the afternoon, and of course expecting some strong winds gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour.
Well, following in the footsteps of downtown Regina, the city of Saskatoon is planning to remove all but one of the 14 parking pay stations in the Sutherland Business Improvement District, trying to steer drivers to pay through the smartphone app. It's part of a one-year pilot project that will help determine whether the city should move to a digital-only option as paid parking expands or when stations need to be replaced. It's believed increased app use reduces maintenance and repair costs, along with the cost of buying and replacing pay stations. The executive director of the Sutherland Business Improvement District says the pilot is a chance to see if the system works.
We know that for some people it's going to be a little bit more difficult. We're hoping that we can figure out all those things and make it work better for the community and for the businesses.
The next steps are to bring bylaw changes to council in August, removing the payment stations if approved. Gas prices are hitting their highest levels in 4 years, and drivers aren't the only ones trying to adapt. Air Canada is announcing new reductions in its flight schedule, and at least one insurance company is no longer covering cancellations related to the jet fuel shortage. Andrew Johnson has more.
This will mean fewer options for some people who fly on a list of route reductions across multiple airlines that continues to grow. In Metro Vancouver, Alexandra Antonovich is feeling it. She visits her parents several times a year in Raleigh, North Carolina, and was delighted when Air Canada added a direct flight from YVR.
It just takes only 5 hours. Usually I would take connect flights, and that would be about double the time, even triple. With some strikes going on, it was once like a day and a half, so it's just convenient.
But that seasonal route will end early this summer. Air Canada is also ending seasonal routes early from Toronto to Charleston, North Carolina, and Sacramento, California, and from Montreal to Austin, Texas. The airline says the decision was made as a direct result of the price of jet fuel. WestJet also previously announced plans to slash its capacity by nearly 6% in June. Antonovich says it all adds up to another hit to the cost of living in 2026.
We travel around a lot in our car, and we see the gas prices going up every day. I'm sure that affects also the food prices and the flights and everything in our daily lives.
Air Canada says customers who have already booked are being contacted with alternate options or a refund. There is another spin-off effect if you buy insurance to protect you in the event of cancellations. Manulife says it is now classifying the jet fuel shortage as a known event. What that means is if you book travel cancellation or disruption insurance through Manulife after May 5th. Problems related to this issue likely won't be covered. It might be a good idea to check with your insurance provider before making any new bookings. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
All right, let's take a look at those farm prices. Canola street price up $2 is $675, 23 cents per ton, while the futures price down $4.30 to $739.20 per ton. Amber durum wheat $278, 59 cents per ton. Red spring wheat's down $2.81 to $284.59 per ton. Feed barley $250, 88 cents per ton, while flax is $630, 54 cents per ton. Prices courtesy of Bunge and Ice Futures Canada. Markets, the TSX dropped by 125 points, while the Dow Jones dropped by 313 points. The Canadian dollar, it dropped 0.07 cents to 73.27 cents U.S. On the commodity front, gold down $1.21, West Texas Intermediate crude down 27 cents, and Western Canadian Select crude down $6.40. So a decent drop there, but we're not seeing it in the gas prices. Just joking, we are. Not much, though. Just 4 cents. It's now at $1.85.9 cents per liter at most places in Regina.
Sherritt International has partnered with the island nation to run cobalt and nickel operations for decades. It is one of Cuba's largest foreign investors. Washington has announced sanctions on any foreign person operating in Cuba's metals and mining sectors. Sherritt's work there is being suspended immediately. Shares of Sherritt fell today 42%. Canadian clothing retailer Aritzia reported net revenue surged by 33% for its latest quarter. It rang in at about $1.2 billion. The CEO says they are seeing strong growth in the U.S. and Canada and notes the company did well despite tariffs. Sales are up at Nutrien. The fertilizer company reported sales of just over $6 billion U.S. for its latest quarter, and that's $1 billion more than the same period a year ago. The conflict in Iran has tightened the supply chain for fertilizer, which has helped the Saskatoon-based Nutrien beat estimates. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up after the newscast, we have Next Level Chef at 7, followed by 911 Nashville. Then we've got Grey's Anatomy at 9, George and Mandy's First Marriage at 10, and E-Talk at 10:30. So roundabout Thursday night on CTV. Hey, we have yet another millionaire in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's doing well.
Yeah, that's right. This time it's Regina's Robert Ripplinger won $1.14 million playing the Vault Breaker VLT on May 3rd at Triffon's Pizza on Broad Street. They plan to give each of their children obviously, Robert and his wife plan to give each one of their children $100,000 and invest in the rest. Congratulations. That's super exciting.
Sensible thing to do with the money. I, on the other hand.
I was going to say, would you do that?
No, I'd buy something weird.
Yeah.
Like a plane.
Okay, well, an Ontario family has been coming up with some ideas to entertain the squirrels on their property.
So they say this one tops them all, though. Sylvie Potts sent the colleagues in Ottawa this video of a seesaw that they built for the squirrels. And yeah, this one really seems to enjoy the ride.
Oh.
Keeps coming back. This posted this video on Facebook. It now has 3 million views. Or do you think it's scared, be like, oh no?
I feel like it's holding on for dear life. Look at that.
Yeah, squirrel's fun.
I mean, I guess it's having fun. So a plane, hey?
I don't know. What would you buy?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it, I don't think.
You can think about it now.
I would travel on a plane. What?